Dad, I'm going to walk you through what we talked about a little bit in terms of starting some strength patterns and starting some training and just getting warmed up a little bit and start you in this first phase, if you feel comfortable with it, with working through this warm up a little bit so you can start getting a little bit more flexibility and also start to develop some strength as you're working through some things. So the first thing that we did together was we went down for some breathing. So starting on your back, and you have your feet and your knees bent comfortably on your back. And if you need to put a headrest underneath here, a little bit of something, so that it takes some tension off your neck, that's perfectly fine. So first off, we just start with some breathing. And what I want you to think about is breathing into your belly. Breathe in and blow out. Try not to go into any type of chest breaths. So I want you to breathe in through your nose and blow it out. So get 5 breaths. And you can see that I'm bringing in that air through my nose if you can, and into my belly and not into my chest. So start to work on practicing that. So I get my 5 breaths, and then what I want you to do is nice and easy. We can roll over to your belly, and this is where we have hands out in front. And, comfortably look where you can. You see I'm looking straight ahead, but everybody has their own limitations and their own ranges of motion. So I'm here and I work on some breathing. All that belly breath that we're just doing. Belly breath. Breathe in and blow out. Breathe in and blow it out. Good. Nice 5 deep breaths. And then we go into our light head nod. So this is where we just introduce a little bit of movement here. We want to use what you have and not force anything else. So a little bit here and there, and then a little bit side to side. So just looking side to side, side to side, within your own ranges. Then what we're going to do is bring you up to your elbows, okay? Just like we used to watch television. And the best you can, you're going to look straight ahead. And now we're going to do some head nods here. So light, up and down, the best you can, with your own range of motion. We do about 5, and then look left and right. For about 5. Okay? Then the next thing we do is we're going to go into a seated position the best that you can. You're going to hold your knees, and we're going to work on some egg rolls. Okay? So just have a mat down, a little bit of padding. Hold your knees the best you can, and it's just about rolling back and rolling back up. Rolling back and rolling back up. Okay? Roll back and roll back up. Okay? We get about 5 of those. 5 of everything is generally what I say. After we get that, then we're going to come to hands and knees. Okay? So hands and knees position, you'll be here. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And I want you to breathe a little bit. 5 breaths. Breathe in and blow it out. Breathe in and blow it out. About 5 breaths. Then we're going to work on those head nods. So I look down and up, down and up. Through your comfortable range. Don't force it. Just use your own range of motion and work through it. 5 head nods, and then side to side. Best you can, we'll get 5. Okay, once we've done those, now you're going to work on a little bit of rocking. So now I sit back in my hips and come back out. Sit back, come back out. Start to introduce nice hip motion back into your hips. This gets good strengthening. I'm rocking. I'm supporting my body weight, using my lats and my back muscles to hold me up. And I'm also using my hips and my glutes, my quads, and my hamstrings to rock me back and forth. A nice way to introduce strength training and, more importantly, range of motion and hip range of motion, and strength, because your hips are holding you up as well. They're getting work and holding you up as well. So we work on some rocking, and we do 10 rocks. Back and forth. Try not to look straight down, but try to keep your head up the best you can and rock through it. So 10 rocks, and then after we finished your rocks, we went into some bird dogs. And with that, you're looking straight ahead, and we just reach the arm. I do 10 total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. Then I switch and go into legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. Keeping this midsection as stable as you can. Try not to let anything drop down or your hips sway. Only lift up as far that you can maintain really great stability through your shoulders and your torso and your hips. You see, nothing is moving except for I'm moving through my shoulder joint. Now, as you get stronger with it and you practice this, you'll notice you might be able to reach farther. And you might be able to reach farther with your legs, keeping this core on, midsection engaged. After we do the arms, then the legs, then we go into opposite arm and leg. Reaching, and again, if it's just here and down, here and down, here and down, I'm happy with that. As you get stronger and more, as the tissue builds up some tolerance, you'll then be able to reach, reach, reach. Okay, so 10 total of those as well. And then what you're going to want to do is we're going to flip back over to your back. And now we're going to do some things on your back. Now, here we're going to do the same sequence. So your arms will be up. Hold your belly. Be a little bit of a brace. Okay, we're going to do an arm reach. Reach, reach, reach for 10 total. And then we're going to do a leg reach. Reach, reach, reach for total. And then if you can tie in both sides, so I'm going to go reach, 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 reach. That's where we start. As if that's really, really easy for you, you can bring your elbows and knees up. So I'm here. My knees are about hip width apart. I don't want to be in tight. Give yourself some room. Give your hips some room. Give everything a little bit of room. And then you can hold this position. Bring your tail up a little bit off the floor. Tighten the belly. And reach, 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 reach. Then you can reach the leg, reach the leg, reach the leg, reach the leg. You can take a little break, 10 total of those, and then you can come up, and now you can go opposite arm and leg. This is not only strengthening your core and your arms and your hips, but it's also developing mind to muscle coordination. So we're getting your hips and your shoulders dialed into your midsection, and also getting your head into it as well. So mind to muscle coordination, building some proprioception, some strength, and everything throughout your shoulders, hips, and your midsection. So that's the place to start. I'd like you to work on that. Work through this sequence. Play this sequence of things. You may want to pause it and then start it again. But play it through this YouTube link. And once you feel comfortable with this and this is going really well, then I can make another sequence to this. But this is something that will always remain part of your training. This is just the first building block that you're going to work on first, and then we'll add on to it after that. So this is the first building block. We'll practice this. You will continue to do this. You'll get really good at it. And then we'll continue to do this, and I'll add on another segment to this training piece.